And took lots of photos of lots of things and listed them on eBay. And guess what, boys and girls? She sold them. Well, hello, boys and girls. How are we? How are we? I'm hoping that you can hear me. I'm not sure because that video didn't seem to have any noise. Did it play for you guys? The purple thing with the mouth. That's Mr. Chatterbox from Mr. Men. That is. So you can all hear me okay. That's all I'm worried about right now. So somebody tell me. So first in, Lissa has said, good morning and night, GG. Just pulling laundry before fixing for bed. We'll be listening now while I can. And then watch you all, got to get that right, watch you all back when I get up for work listening because I enjoy you guys. So first thing, thank you, Lissa. From Baubles, Blings and Needful Things. Love the party hat, happy face. Awesome thumbnail, thank you. Thank you. Hello, Rob. Hello, hello, hello. And I said hello too. Yes, Sandra says she can hear me good. Hi, Gigi, she says. Oh, yes, so that's Mr. Chatterbox from Mr. Men. Characters, do you know the Mr. Men characters, the little books? Doesn't look frightening at all. Well, yeah, all right. I shouldn't be reading ahead, should I? Yes, says Sandra, she can hear me. Thank goodness. Did you hear the video playing? When I played the video, did that play properly? Jen's in. Evening all, she says. Doesn't look frightening at all, says Rob. Yeah, well, it probably does now that I'm looking at it in that light. It probably doesn't look too good. But is what it is. G'day, Wendy. Tiger for life. Hope you're well. Yes. We can hear you. Thank goodness for that. Always worries me because there's sort of like no way of testing that bit beforehand. Sandra Blondie, hello. Gigi and everybody, hello. Good to see you. Adam's in the house too. Books along with stuff. Hey there. Here for the amazing banter. Rightio. If you think it's amazing, I'm so happy for you. Sandra says, yes, I heard the boy. Good. He likes listening to his nanny sing Bolo Bolo, and I quite frequently get phone calls when they're in the car, and I have to sing it to him while he's in the car. Rob says, just all the toys leering over your shoulder. It's like The Shining or The Conjuring. Ooh. It is. I didn't even think of that when I turned the main light off because I just finished looking at the video, some of the video I did with Christian on Thursday, and I looked white, and I thought, oh, I've got to make sure I turn the lights off so I don't look so white. And I even put a bit of makeup on because I was looking like death warmed up. I mean, I'm stuffed. Or am. G'day, Chris Osreilly. Good to see you. G'day, Brad. Happy evening all. Happy Friday. Yeah, cheers to that. Cheers to that. I've busted my little ass, well, it's probably my big ass. This afternoon I have actually, pardon me, I'll read Anthony's message first. He says, evening, Gigi, still sitting up for Kerry's 60th birthday bash tomorrow night. Woohoo! Good stuff. We can listen while you're getting organised. So, yeah, I'm feeling a bit exhausted because this afternoon I did stock take on all my jeans. And I'm going to say I'm glad I did. I mean, I'm exhausted now, but I'm glad I did because I reckon there's somewhere, but I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't 20 pairs of jeans that I thought were listed that don't appear to be listed for whatever reason. I'm hoping, I haven't checked Depop yet. What I'm actually hoping is that some of the ones that seem to have disappeared off eBay, I'm hoping they might still be on Depop, because then I'll be able to cross-list them back to eBay without having to take more photos and crap. Even Octo's in the house. Evening, humans. How's the holiday going with all the little minions, Octo? Are they behaving themselves, or have you had enough of the school holidays yet? Brad says, we are doing a bit of a deep clean of our store at the moment. Are you? Yes. Yeah, that'd be, well, you've got a bigger store to clean out than I have, but yeah, I thought it was high time, because I don't know, I just had a feeling that there was quite a few jeans that perhaps weren't showing up when I was looking. I thought, I need to go through those, and I'm glad I did. Good video today on the DVDs. Not that that'll encourage me to go and sell DVDs, because it's not happening. Rob says, evening, Chris, Sandra, Brad, Ajax, Anthony, Lissa, Adam, Blondie, the Overlord. Oh, dear. You're funny. You're funny. So what else everybody else been doing? I know Sandra has had a fairly quiet day today. She's been taking it easy. Brad says DVDs are not for everyone. That is very true. I mean, I just can't. There's no consistency of stock around here, and yeah, all the ones you pick up are crap around here. So yeah. Octo says, evening, human Rob. Oh, Octo says, you thought a DVD today, or you bought a DVD today? Brad says, I wouldn't do it as a main category, but a good side gig. No, not for me. Not for me. Been there, done that, didn't work. Octo says, bought. I've still got a big thing there, but I did like to see however many you fitted, 30-something, 37 or something, or 39 or something, DVDs in the box. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Put them in a big box. Been talking about which way I was going to go, and should have. I looked at a DVD today. I bet you looked at more than one, Rob. I think. Brad says, for a Frisbee Octo. Yeah. Probably. Oh, Pavarotti, he says, I can have my own these music now. Boy, Octo, like, if I didn't know better, I'd say you'd been drinking and you can't type. Rob says 37, was it? 30. Oh, well, you know, I guess, how many will fit in a box. Yes. Yes. Hi, Vaya. Ooh la la, Gigi, she says. Oh, I see. Theme music. Okay. That makes more sense. I can have my own these music. And autocorrect. He's blaming it on autocorrect. Heard that one before. Or I did have. Yeah, Brad, did we swap brains, Octo? Highly possible. Is highly possible. Yeah, so this morning I did all my usual stuff and then went to the post office, and I had it all set up ready to do my jeans when I got home. Yeah. I kind of wished I had taken the laptop into where I've got the jeans stored, though, because I had to carry the boxes out here one at a time and take them back in. But yeah, it was just easier than having to go and reset everything up, and then the laptop would have only lasted so long before I would have had to go and plug it all in and shift the power cord. And so I thought, nah, I will just go the other way. Anthony says, Octo thought you were buying plushies today. LOL. Yeah, well, he had a few little octopus plushies, didn't he? All shapes and sizes he's seeing up on the Gold Coast. He is. Did you find anything else interesting on the Gold Coast, Octo? I know he's been finding a few little books. So I might be getting a few books, extra books, that might be good for reading aloud, maybe. Just have to wait and see what he brings back with him. So what else is happening in the reselling world? Anything exciting? No? I feel like it's been a quietish day. Traffic seems to have been okay to my store, but I don't know. It just seems quiet for some reason, whether it's because, it's that time of the month, people are getting their credit card bills, or whether people are saving, not spending because they're waiting for the long weekend. I know not. But then, it's one of those things. Sometimes you have a good day, sometimes you have a bad day. And yeah, I guess it all comes out in the wash. I'm still doing better this month than I was last month, so that's good. Still a bit to go, though, to get back to where it was before I, had my surgery. I still haven't caught up back to that level that I was before that. So I've got to get cranking because the car's arriving tomorrow. And yeah, so then I'll have car expenses. I mean, I guess that's one. Look, I've saved a lot of money the last few weeks because I haven't had to pay for petrol. I've been not spending much. Well, I haven't gone to an op shop, so that's a plus. And like even going to the supermarket, because my friends that have been taking me, might be just doing it as a special thing for me. I don't want them to have to hang around for too long. So sometimes I've been getting the supermarket to deliver it if it's just been a couple of things. Or, I'll nick in there after I go to the post office, and I don't like my friends to have to wait around too long. So I've just been buying little bits and pieces and mainly sort of trying to, plow through stuff that I've already got in the house in the freezer or the cupboard. So, yeah, I mean, with all that, I have saved money. But it says, quiet week, struggling to get more than 5 listings up in a day, relying on your end and sell similar draft rollout. Yeah. Oh, look, I do have to say that has been my saving grace, doing my scheduled listings from when I do the end and sell similar. And so every day when I do my end and sell similar, that then gets added on to my draft bank. So I've got I've pretty much got my draft bank with as many scheduled days in it as you're allowed. So I'm pretty happy with that. A thrift run, woohoo, yeah, I know. I could probably do with another week, I reckon, without going to a thrift store. But I dare say, yeah, I'll possibly have to go somewhere next week. Brad says, got a fun opportunity tomorrow. Ooh, unfortunately don't think I'm able to film it. But a guy with multiple large sheds and buys units, sell outs, etc., has invited us out to have a look. Oh, that sounds exciting. That would be good. That would be good. Yes, could be amazing, might be nothing. That's the trouble, isn't it? I guess it's the build-up of, till you get there, because it's exciting waiting to see what it is going to get there. Anthony says, been a very quiet week, which is a godsend with how busy we've been. Yeah, well, I guess when you're getting organised for a big birthday party, it's all a bit of a hassle, isn't it? How's the painting going anyway, Anthony? Did you get it all look like you got all that done? Sandra says, that sounds like a good fun day, Brad and Jess. I think so. Hopefully we don't sweat to death, Sandra. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to heat up here. So what's your temperature going to be in Adelaide tomorrow? Because it's supposed to be warming up here. I haven't actually had a look to see what it's going to be tomorrow. Don't want to. I've kind of got the air conditioner on, but not. So I've turned the water pump off and I've just got the fan on, which I will have to turn off soon. Also 34 here tomorrow. And then what have we got? 34 tomorrow. Oh, and then back down to 28 Sunday. Oh, watch out. Next week, Wednesday, it's going to be 37 next Wednesday. Well, it could be worse, Brad. You could be going to that shed next Wednesday. So cooling down, says Sandra. No, it's going to be hot tomorrow. 35 over there, yeah. And, like in sheds with no if special, well, it depends on the breeze, doesn't it? Like, I mean, you can cope with it a bit more if there's a bit of a breeze, but if it's humid and there's no breeze, it's not good. Not good. Octo says, nothing up here. A lot of junk so far. Thinking it's hunting season. Yeah, I think Octo's been a bit disappointed with the lack of good stuff that he's been finding in the op shops, because he's been going into a few to see what he can find, but he's not having much luck. Sandra says, damn, not good sleeping weather. No, it's not. I mean, it hasn't been bad here, because even though it's getting hot later in the day, it's been cooling down at night time enough that it's not too bad overnight, and then it's fresh in the morning. Anthony says, got most of it done. Wife did the first shift last night. Then I got up at 2:30 a.m. and got in. You sound like you're on bloody, what is it? The block or something. That's what it sounds like you're doing. You're on the block and you're having to get up and do your shift of painting work. Sandra says, I'm sleeping days. Yes. You have been having a bit of a snooze. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh, I need a drink. I am a bit thirsty, actually, because with what I was doing today, I probably didn't drink as enough. And that's with the trouble. I probably haven't drunk as much as I should have today. And because I've used a lot of muscle energy today, I dare say I'm going to pay for that tonight or tomorrow. Because if I don't drink plenty, I get cramps during the night. And then your muscles are so sore the next day. It's cruel. That's what happens when you get old. It's not good. Worse. Well, it's actually worse than going through menopause, let me tell you, and that was pretty bloody bad. No. So I was having a bit of a laugh because I was watching Thursday's live stream back. I put it through Opus Clips this evening and got a few videos out of it, and it was quite interesting, some of the little conversations Christian and I were having on Thursday morning after Octo and Blake decided to desert me. Graham says, Octo, you do well at the flea market. Just ask Matt. LOL. Yeah, well, maybe he might go to the flea market, Graham, just so that he can meet Maddie, perhaps. Maybe. Oh, I'd like to see that, but only if you have your octopus persona on. Jen says, will you do a stock take on your books? Oh, look, I do. So with the books, I don't find the books quite as bad, because I generally will try at least once a week to do a shelf on the books. So I try not to let that one get out too far out of me. But yeah, it's sort of going to have to be books next. I've done, the other day I did all my hats, and I was surprised to find, so there was only 2 hats that weren't listed, but I think I might have deliberately not listed them because they were two Hawks members caps. And Hawks caps don't sell anyway, and the members caps have even less chance of selling. So I think I might have deliberately not listed them. So, pardon me, my daughter's partner, Emma, her and her family are all Mad Hawks, so they're all members. And so they went through, last time she bought me up a heap of hats, because she collects hats, and then she goes through them and decides which ones she doesn't want after a while, and then she gives them to me. But she said, when she told her mum that she was bringing me some hats, her mum then went through their house and got all the old members' hats and gave them to her. So, yeah, there's a few Hawks members caps. But I think what I'm going to do is, instead of listing them singly, because I'll have no hope of selling them, I'm just going to put them all in a bundle and do them like real cheap, because they've cost me nothing. So I think I'll do it that way. Yeah, next on your books, yes, yeah. Yeah, so look, as I said, I try to, because I always try to do them when I have to shift stuff around a bit. If I've got to consolidate, it's easier just to do a bit of a stock take on that particular shelf when I'm doing that. And I find that works, because then it stops, stops stuff falling through the cracks, stops books going missing even from falling behind and stuff. And it doesn't make it such a hard job because there's so many books. And I've done all the VHS as well. And on my VHS, so I had the whole shelving unit back there was all VHS. But the lower two shelves were stuff I hadn't listed. So I've taken all that away so that I had room for more books there. And the VHS, I've got to decide what I've still got a cupboard full of it, and I've got to work out what I'm going to do with it. Opto says, thinking of going to the market, might take the white van. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Graham says, wear a Bunnings hat and get a mic. Well, I could have given him a Bunnings hat or two. I've got a couple of those. Lisa says, oh no, it's not a personal persona. He's real. Oh yeah, he's real, but he can pretend to be human sometimes and not be so disgruntled. But if he meets Maddie, I want him to be his typical disgruntled octopusy self. Anthony says, maybe Octo could charge Matt $120 for the hour at the flea market, and how really Octo says that's right. What's that? Well, it is right. Yes, it is right. So one of the Opus shorts was quite funny because it's kind of like saying somebody had said, oh, that was the first time here. And I said, well, normally you get to see a big orange octopus, the other guy and me. So that's good. Octopussy, yes. It'd be funny. Graham says, I keep a couple of alternative intelligence hats. Oh, I got a couple of alternative intelligence hats today for $4 each. Okay. What are alternative intelligence hats? I don't know. Oh, AI hats. Okay. Don't know. Lisa says, oh, Octo, we don't want to really know what's on the inside. Oh, I put a picture up. Did you see the picture I put up on Instagram? That's what's inside. So if you haven't had a look, have a look at my post on Instagram, Lisa. Octo says, I'm on the 3rd floor with no elevator. I've never been more disgruntled. Oh, dear. That's not good. That is not good. Well, look, think of how fit you'll get going up and down the stairs. Maybe. You've got to look at the positives, Octo. He says, I think Shane wants to see what colour I bleed. Yeah, I think so. I think there's a few people that would like to see that, actually. Graham says they have like psychedelic pictures on hats. Cool looking. Oh, okay. G'day, John Roberts. He says AI hats, and they made of foil. Yeah. Well, I mean, Octo does have a foil hat. Well, we both do. We made foil hats for one when we did a thing about AI. And it'd be interesting, Octo. It would actually. There's no positive for the exercise. No positivity for exercise. Yeah, true. But what do you reckon? Wouldn't it be? I reckon it'd be very different. That episode, the podcast episode that we did about AI, it didn't really gain great traction. But it'd be interesting if we were doing it now, because there's so much more interest in AI now, I reckon. Graham says, Octo blue blood. Is he? Is he blue? Lisa says, oh, yes, GG, I'll be taking a pixie for sure. Spilling the ink tea hour. Yep. Well, they deserted me, Lisa. Both him and Blake deserted me, went on holidays together. And I thought, well, stuff you. And so when they sent me a picture of them sunbaking on the beach, I thought, stuff it, and I put it on Instagram. That is what I did. Graham says there are some of those hats on eBay. Are there? Cool. Do they go for good money? That's the thing. Octo says, let's just rebrand the episode and run it again. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Yes. Yes. Because I just think there's so much more interest in it now. Octo says, Blake's carrying me up the stairs. Oh, dear. Hello, Cindy Brown. Evening, GG. Sorry, I'm late. No, that is absolutely fine. Don't be sorry at all. Don't be sorry at all. I might be getting a visit from Cindy. Can't be letting anything out of the bag. Lisa says, good for you, girl. Yeah. I'll show them who's boss. Around $70 for the AI hats. Woohoo. Well, you better get them listed, Graham, and get them up there. List them for $50 and then you'll get a quick sale. That's the thing, isn't it? List them quick. Get it gone. Oh, talking of which, I was so pissed off. So today I had a pair of jeans, quite a good pair of jeans. Should have been listed for about $24. I had it on special for $16. That's not good enough. No, they have to send me an offer for $10. So I was a little bit disgruntled myself. And so instead of countering, I just declined it. I said, stuff it, you're insulting me. So, yeah, you can take a leap. Rob says, tinfoil hats sell for $70. Oh, good. Could I put the one I made up? Do you reckon that'd sell all right? Don't know. It was pretty ugly, the one I made, but, who cares, really? So anyway, here's cheers. I'm just going to have another drink. So here's cheers for Friday night. Thank God it's Friday, I say. Is that a song? Oh, it's a movie, but I don't think it's a song. What's a Friday song that I can sing? What I should have done was had some more beers for tonight, but I didn't have any more beers to drink. Because they're always really good when it's a warm day and you need a good bit of refreshment. It's nothing like a good old beer, except we won't be drinking Foster's. No songs? No Friday songs? Oh, it's Friday and then it's Saturday, Sunday. What? What is that? You can sing Rebecca Black's Friday. What's that? I don't know that one. Rebecca Black's Friday. I've got Friday on my mind. There's one. I should be able to think of some Friday songs, at least one that I know. Let me have a look. I need, no good looking on Depop for a song, is there? Yeah. Sing along Friday songs. Oh, so that's Rebecca Black. Okay. What have we got? Oh, this is today is the Friday song by Monica off Play School. Don't think on that one. Friday, I'm in Love, The Cure. Oh, they've got Dancing Queen as a suggestion for a Friday song. Thank God it's Friday, Katy Perry. Oh, do I know that one? I probably do know that one. Okay, let's have a look. It's Friday, then it's Saturday, Sunday. What? No, I have no idea what that is, but I'm singing it. You can sing Rebecca Black's Friday. I don't. I need to listen to it because I don't. Sometimes I just need to listen to songs. The CBs have apparently got a song which is also about Friday, but here we go. Yeah, pretty sure I don't know that one. Katy Perry. All right, well, let's try Katy Perry. Katy Perry. Oh, last Friday night. Last Friday night. Yeah, I know that one. Stranger in my bed. There's a fire in my head. I'm gonna stop because I'll get told off for playing stuff that I shouldn't be playing. Ah, dear, that's a sad thing, isn't it? It's Friday by Mufasa. Is that off the Lion King? Must be. Must be. Uh, well, apparently it's a song. Rightio. No, it's not off the Lion King. I do know that one. Yeah, okay. Now I'm with you. I didn't know Miss Mufasa in the Lion King does a theatrical rendition. No, when that said Mufasa, I thought just straight away thought the Lion King. Lion King soundtrack is also banging, but not Friday related. I probably got more chance of singing a song off the Lion King. GG getting close to accidentally getting Rebecca Black's song accurate. Yeah, well, I just need to sing it a few more times. Once I've sung it a couple of times, I'm pretty good. Because it's like when I don't sing Bolo Bolo very often, and yeah, you sort of lose track of the words a little bit. And then now at the moment, it's just pounding in my head because I'm singing it 2 or 3 times a day to my grandson when he rings up. Jen says, Friday on my mind, Easy Beats. Yeah, that was the first one I thought of. That's probably a good one. Oh, pardon me. Yes, Friday on my mind, Easy Beats. Friday on my mind. Oh, it's Monday, I've got Friday on my mind. Our age group, GG, yes. No, not that. No, yeah. Yeah, probably when I was, yeah, they're 60s, aren't they, really? Every Friday morning, Brad and I listen to an entire Skrillex album while we do shipping. Got to get hot. Skrillex. Look, I'm going to say not a band I'm familiar with. Let's have look. We have to have a look, don't we? Introduce me to some new music. Banjarang. Banjarang. That's a place around here is called Banjarang. I bet that's not quite what this is, though. I need one that's going to bring the words up, probably. Yeah, Thinking not, maybe. Jimmy Barnes is a bit more my style. Jimmy Barnes going to NAB. What's the NAB? Going to have a good night tonight. What? Because I'm singing. We listen to the Recess album. Oh, does that mean you're going on recess, like playtime at school? The Cure, Friday I'm in Love. Yeah, I was never a big Cure fan, really, for some reason. We can't hear your music. Yeah, sure. Sure. What, you can only hear me singing, you can't actually hear it when I play the music. Lisa says, Friday on my mind is the only one I can think of too, and I'm having flashbacks of roller skating to it. Yeah, Gigi, I'm older than you think. Oh, no, I think you and I are about the same vintage, Lisa. Get some Skrillex. Is that how you say it? Skrillex on next Friday, Granny. We'll get you going. You might have a heart attack, but we'll get you going. Okay. Yeah, I like. There is some Cure stuff I like, but I don't know. What was I listening to when the Cure was really popular? I think it was a bit more sort of. I'm not going to say heavy. Yeah. So like, I wasn't right into heavy metal, but I was into that sort of real grungy glam rock, sort of heavy rock. I suppose I'd call it heavy rock sort of music more. I'm going to say. Yes, that's correct. Vaya says we can't hear. The music is muffled, blocked. Ooh. Does that mean I can play it for longer? I don't know whether YouTube would appreciate that though. Yeah, can't hear the music. You can't stop the music. Nobody can stop the music. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know why. I'm just all day. I've been replying to people by singing. I'm just in a singing mood. Sometimes you just got to let the music flow. It's a pity I didn't have a better voice though. The nuns told me when I was at school I got allowed to be in the choir. I was in St Mary's primary school choir, and a couple of the kids, the nasty kids, said that I shouldn't be allowed in the choir because I couldn't sing in tune. And anyway, so the head nun, Sister Ursula, she still gives me shivers thinking about her. She came over and said, "Roddy, you need to sing for me." So I sang, and she said, "Well, young ladies, Leanne's got much better diction than the rest of you, so she's staying in the choir." Then she pulled me aside very nicely and told me I could stay in the choir with my good diction. I just needed to lower my volume a little bit. I should say. Oh, John Roberts. So we can hear that. Yes, I'm sure you can. Sandra said, I wasn't allowed in. Our choir leader was strict and competitive. Yeah, no. Well, I think that was the idea because I had good diction. I would look good in the competition. I just needed to sing at a low enough level that my bad tone wasn't, causing problems. Shakira apparently got kicked out of the choir because the teacher said she sounded like a goat. I'm sure that's what the mean kids thought I sounded like too. And they would like to have kicked me out of the choir. They really would have. But it didn't happen. But, we weren't singing nice music either. Although, we did sing one non-hymn song. So here's the goals, guys. When I was in grade 6, we had a teacher, and her name was Mrs. Callahan. Mrs. Callahan's husband was the postmaster at the time, and they had like 10 kids. Like, picture the sound of music. Like kids. They had like kids. And so, and because they were very good Catholics, you see. And every single one of the kids played an instrument. And Mr. Callahan was very musical and he wrote songs. And anyway, they put out a record. And we got to sing the song that was in the record at the choir competition. And I'll sing a bit of it for you if you like. Would you like me to sing a bit of it for you? I still know the words. So let me know if you would like me to sing you the Callahan's greatest hit that they ever had. Lisa says, my Catholic bum feels your cringing childhood memories too. Yeah. Percy, that was Sister Ursula's pet. I won't call it a pet name because she didn't deserve that. Yeah, she just, she just gives me the shivers because she used to get that cane out. Yes, Mr. Kane, yeah. Two Aussie sisters, Mr. Brad says, do we have an option? Well, yes. If enough people vote no, then I won't sing it. But if no one votes no, then I will. I don't have to sing it because I know. I mean, look, I know I haven't got the greatest voice. And unlike when I did my rap video, like there's no way of tuning it if I sing live for you. You just have to put up with it as it is. But yes, you tell me. Come on, nobody's answering. Although the numbers in the chat have gone down from 30 to 26, so maybe they do not want to hear me sing. Brad says, I don't think I would have gone too well in a Catholic school. See, I was a real goody two-shoes at primary school. I went to a normal high school, but I went to a Catholic primary school, and I was a real goody two-shoes. And I swear to God, it's because my first day of school, I lined up and I was sitting in the very front desk in the front row, and two of the boys got into trouble at recess. I had something to do with dipping dead sparrows that they might have stoned, and then they got into the tool shed and they might have been dipping them in yellow paint. Like, nothing bad. And she belted the kajibas out of her first day of school, and she's in front of me, like 3 feet in front of me, and giving them the what fors. I was too scared. I was too scared to do anything else but be good. Good response, says Sandra. What, that no one has said no? Jazz says, it's your channel. You'll sing if you want to. Yeah. I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to. Someone definitely would have gotten a mouthful. Yep. Alyssa says, I'm tucked into Buddy, laying here watching. I want to hear a lullaby. Oh, yeah, okay. Cindy says, go for it. Jazz says, Brad, you even got kicked out of my Catholic. What was he doing in your school? Naughty, naughty. Were you in the shelter shed? I hope not. That right? Tell her. I will. All right. Let me look, I'm just going to put this on mute for a sec while I blow my nose, because you don't want to hear that, and then I'll sing. I do believe I got a little bit of dust from the shelving where my jeans are or something up my nose today. So the story of the song is, so I live on, like, Donald is on the Sunraysia Highway. And so the Sunraysia Highway is the way you get from Melbourne to Mildura, which is one's at one end of the state of Victoria and one's at the other end of the state of Victoria. Oh, there you go. See, I'm already getting a cramp in my arm. Brad says, nah, me and my mate used to go pick Jazz and her friends up from school. Well, of course not. They don't want boys coming along picking the good little Catholic girls up from school. Goodness me. You should have hidden around the corner and then waited for Jazz to come out. Man, I don't know. So anyway, Mr. Callahan wrote a song about travelling to Mildura. It goes something like this. When you're travelling to Mildura, go along Sunraysia Way. You'll meet the nicest people, no matter where you stay. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I can't believe they actually put that on a record, but they did. And I actually now, and thinking about it, no, I don't think Mrs. Callahan was in there at all. It was just Mr. Callahan and all the kids, all lined up playing their instruments. Brad says, I also went to their interview party at the school because I pretty much knew them all and had lighting. Oh, you had the DJ gear. Oh, yeah, that's how you picked up the girls, by having the DJ gear. Jazz says there were 0 good little Catholic girls at my Catholic school. Yeah, well, look, I know what they say about Catholic girls. Cindy says, well done. Yeah. Unreal, isn't it? The words are just, interesting little tune, I think. And it does go along and goes back through all the towns, but I wouldn't sing you the whole thing. But yeah, I think that's enough of it. Teachers wanted me to go, but everyone said, nah, he's good, and they're his light, so he's staying. The ones that said that, it was probably their last year at school, so they weren't worried about saying it. Lisa says, good tune, Gigi. Kind of sounded like the Monkeys. Yeah, well, I think he might have taken the tune off the Monkeys, perhaps. I reckon it might have been a bit of a, bit of plagiarism there, maybe. I don't know. Hey, so, Jazz, did you have nuns or did you have lay teachers teaching you mostly? I had mostly nuns. And when I went, it was before, there was a point in time, I'm going to say, now let me think. I would have started school 62 and 67. I would have started primary school in 67. 68, 69. So I'm going to say early 70s was when the nuns used to take a name that was a saint's name and a weird name. They didn't use their own names. And then in the 70s, because they wanted the nuns to be more relatable type thing, then they could actually go back to their name. So I was at primary school when that happened. So I started school with Sister Cornelius. Who else did we have? Sister Cornelius. She was quite nice, actually. Who else was there? Can't think of them because But then, they changed their names. And then we had to get used to calling them by these other names, which was all very strange. So Sister Cornelius became Sister Rose. It was weird. Brad says, it was the year 12 breakup thing. Yeah, see, they were mouthy then. If it had been the year 11 one, they would have known not to, but you would have been gone. G'day, Silverhair Stacker. Yawn. Dang, it's early. Oh, yeah. Look, you missed the wake-up song. I sang you a wake-up song to get you up and going, and you've missed it. Brad says, I had sums. Sometimes they knew what they were talking about, not nuns. Rob said, weird things happening back in the 1870s. There were. Indeed, there were. Because, back then, by the time my kids went to school, they knew the kids that went to so in Donald, there were two primary schools. There was the Catholic school and there was the state school. And so when my kids went to school, they knew the kids that went to state school and vice versa. But when I went to school, the Catholic kids didn't mix with the Protestant kids, just wasn't the done thing. And so we would pull up they'd pick the Catholic kids up first on the bus and then drive around. They'd have all the Catholic kids would be on the bus and then they'd drive around and pull up in front of the state school. And there'd be all these bloody state school kids out there going, Catholic wogs, looking like frogs, sitting on logs. Like, really? Mean little buggers. We Catholic kids wouldn't have done that back in reverse. Jazz says, we had regular dropkick stoner teachers and then Brother Jolly. Brother Jolly, was he? Brother Jolly was principal and there was one nun, only one nun, Sister Helen. Yeah, so she was obviously after they were allowed to go back to their own name, Sister Helen. She probably would have been, like Sister Francesca or some such thing. Good morning, good night, Craig, she says to Silverhair Stacker. To Aussie Thrifters, Brad. Sounds like you lived in a musical, Gigi. Yeah, something like that. You could write a book about it, really, probably. I grew up with music. I grew up with a lot of music. Perhaps not the kind you want to be listening to all the time, but so my mum was very, very musical. And she came from a Scottish family and they all had beautiful voices. And she had 4 siblings. And they would all sing together, and they sang even in. They got asked to sing at balls and dances and things, even from a very young age. And my grandfather, apparently, who I never met, he was head of the choir in Donald, like the adult choir as they had back in the day. And so my mum was very musical, but growing up, both my parents absolutely loved country music. Hence why I'm not so fond of it myself now, because, like, you can get too much of not a good thing, and then you just steer clear of it. But even saying that, though, I can sing the song. I can sing just about any of those older country songs. I still know them all off by heart. Your Johnny Cashes and, oh my God, Slim Dusty, Dolly Parton, Glenn Campbell, the whole works. And that, yeah, so we had music. There was music around the house a lot when I was growing up. And, yeah, tried learning to play guitar. I wished I had kept it up, but I gave it up after a while. I wish my parents had have made me keep going, because I'm sorry that I yeah, I'm sorry I didn't learn, and I want to learn now. I'm supposed to have already taught myself by now, but I haven't. And I was going to there's a local guy here that was doing lessons, but he's not doing them now. My sister Helen was 90. Yeah. Silverhair Stacker says you changed my name to Craig. Look at how young Jazz is. Yes, I know. How lucky she is, so young. Lisa says, Larry, I took it back quick. The key memory had that up, and I hit it accidentally. Goof butt. Sandra says, I went to public school, but separate playing areas for boys and girls. Oh, no climbing equipment for girls, so we didn't show our knickers. Oh, yeah, I know. We got monkey bars, and then there was a bit of controversy over that. So in the end, because, if you put your hands up, your dress went up. Anyway, they relented. We had to wear shorts under our dresses, and we could on a Friday. Only on a Friday, on sports day. Larry Todd. Okay, thanks, Cindy. I thought her name was Louise. Isn't it Louisa? Cindy says, I grew up listening to 50s and 60s music, was always playing at home. Yes, I can sing all of Kamal's songs too. My mother was a huge fan of Kamal. And if we get the family Bible, which is just over there somewhere, if I open it up, it's one of those big white ones. If you open up the family Bible, you know how you normally have people have like death notices and birth notices and stuff like that in their Bibles? If you flick through my family Bible, you'll keep coming across pressed carnations. Every few pages, there's some more fresh carnations. And, yeah, they're all the carnations my mum got off Kamal, because my dad would take her to the concerts and he'd always book the front row, and Kamal always gave all the ladies in the front row a carnation. And so I shudder to think how many carnations there are in there. And I have a lovely big pile of Kamal vinyl records, and one of them's even autographed because she got Kamal to autograph it. And, yeah, can't seem to even give that away. Jazz says, Sister Helen tried to tell my big sister to stop swinging on her chair because everyone could see her knickers. My sister said, no, you can't, I'm not wearing any, and got suspended for a week. I wonder why. Christian, wrap over the knuckles for you, mister. Evening, DG. Sorry I'm late. Hope the live's been going great so far. Well, I don't know because I've been singing, Christian, so you would have to ask the rest of the boys and girls in the audience whether it's been going well or not. Louisa or Lisa or Lisa? Yeah, call her Lisa. Or, no, yeah, Lisa, not Lisa. She doesn't like Lisa. Sandra says, Doris Day and Nana Muscuri. Yeah. Good old Doris Day in the movies. Jen says, I went to a private Catholic school. Yeah, most of them, yeah. Ties and stockings and lace-up shoes with nuns. Absolutely. Ties. I can still do a tie up and do a Windsor knot too. Still do a tie very well. I think some of those things, once you've done them like 100 times, they're just indelibly, set in your brain after a while. We used to have to wear gloves. I wore gloves. I reckon I wore gloves grade prep and grade 1, I think, and then they stopped that. And then we would only have to do it when we went to marching, did marching in the sports. Still had to wear them, white gloves. Rob says, Jazz is laughing. Lisa says, sorry, GG, silly, sleepy Americans messing up your chat. Oh, no one's messing it up. You're giving me something to talk about. Love the fun, GG. Hello, Charlene. Here's a girl that can tell some stories about school. Charlene didn't go to primary school with me, but she did go to secondary school with me. Kamal was a favourite of Mum's too. Yes, good old Kamal. Why are people so unkind? Shirts, ties, tunic. Oh, the tunics. Charlene, you had a tunic too, didn't you? I'm pretty sure you had a tunic too. So, yeah. Oh, you young'uns wouldn't know what a bloody tunic was. Oh, you used to feel like you were bound. Like, because you had your shirt. Yeah, well, you had a singlet. You had your shirt, tie, and the shirts were all button up. There was none of these bloody, later on we got to wear skivvies, but button up shirt with a tie. And then you would put, I can still remember wintertime in grade prep, then you'd put your tunic over the top, and then you put your jumper, then you would put a pinny. I had a pinny that went a navy, because we wore navy tunics at St Mary's, and there was a pinny they made to go over the top so we didn't get our tunics and our jumpers dirty. Oh, my God. As I said, it was like being bound. Brad wants to know, how is marching a sport? You march to the music. Like they do over in America with the drum bands. Except we didn't have the drums. Oh, we had the big hats with the feathery things on them and all that stuff. Silver Hair Stacker, Larry Todd, this ain't Roman's show. The host can say my name right. Yes, correct. Correctamundo. Charlene said, yes, hated it, and those ties. I know. I've still got my tie and my school jumper, the woolen jumper. I thought I'd keep them. Yeah. Jess says, primary school in the 90s, it was all about the skivvy. Yeah, well, it was all about the skivvy. Late high school, I'm going to say, we got to start wearing skivvies. Oh, look, and the pants. So we had to wear tunics, and then they decided they would modernise us, and you had a choice of wearing this like a kilt skirt, or you could wear these new danfangled things called slacks. They were, I don't know who chose the style, but they were the absolute worst cut of pants. I still say they were a men's cut in a pant. They were disgusting. Maroon they were. I mean, I still wore them because I wasn't going to wear a skirt if I didn't have to. And the tights under the tunics. Oh, to keep warm, because it used to be so bloody cold. And so you had these really thick woolen tights and they were itchy. Ooh. Brad says that's dancing. Oh, not when you're doing marching. Yeah. We had nice marching uniforms though. Our marching uniforms were like red and white panels. They were pretty special. We had white gloves that we used to have to wear with those. Very special. And you had to hold your hands with your thumbs up so that when you marched, you were like this. Because if you let your hands drop, ooh, you'd be getting a rap over the knuckles on the bus on the way home. Lisa says, Catholic school uniforms, the neck scarf noose. Oh, I know. Oh, Jen, yes, says we all had to say Hail Marys. I know. Well, you started the morning off with your prayers, didn't you? And they used to send us off to confessional once a week at least. We were over the road from the church, and we'd have to go over and confess our sins. And I can even remember when we first made after we made our first confession. And I was a goody two shoes, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to have to make something up because I didn't do anything wrong this week, and I never answered my mum and dad back, never. And I had to go, I was going into confessional, and I was saying I was mean to my brother, and I answered my mum back. I was literally telling lies in confessional, so I had a sin to confess. Oh my God. How bad's that? Anthony says, when I was getting ready for my confirmation, the nun used to come to the house and my dad would pretend to be asleep on the couch. She would go over to where he was and bless him. I love that. That's funny. Oh, yeah, those skirts were horrifically expensive, weren't they? For a school skirt back in the day. And I believe they were the same skirts that there was they were the same skirts from the Canadian Air Force, weren't they? That was supposedly the fabric was the same, that's where the design came from. Charlene says, hated those tights too. I know, they were terrible, weren't they? Brad says, you're literally describing my hell, GG. Yeah. Life. Lisa says, no slacks allowed ever. Oh, didn't you? Well, see, by this time I was at the state school, where all the heathens go. Tights in winter, knee stockings otherwise. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, the socks up to the knees. And then we used to have the little garters. We used to make them out of elastic to keep our socks up. With the awful itchy kilt skirts, yes. And I had a knee-length rash for years, yeah. Oh, so they were not good, were they? Honestly. Really, they were not good at all. But I guess, yeah. So for during the transition from when they decided, whoever it was that decided we could change our high school uniform and not have tunics anymore, and they introduced the skirts and the pants. And so I believe later on you had to have a skirt so that if you had official school photos or something, you had to wear a skirt. But when we went, I don't know, Charlene, I think I might be right here. You could choose because they were going to have a leeway, and especially if you were in your last year or two of school, you could have the pants so that you didn't have to purchase one of the expensive skirts, which even back then, I'm talking a long time ago, they were like $175 or something. So I don't know whose idea it was to get those. Jennifer says, that's so funny, making up sins to confess. I know. We also had the brother at my school with the brothers. We had to go to ours. Oh, had to go to ours. Well, I think she means mass. I do. Charlene says, don't know about that interesting fact. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I seem to remember that for some reason. Mass, yes, mass. Remember it to the rosary. Yes, the rosary beads. Yes. Had to say our rosary. We did. And bless ourselves and dip our fingers in the holy water and bless ourselves and all that lovely stuff. I think the most unsanitary, I'm glad they changed when they gave out communion to not putting it in your mouth. That would have to be the most unsanitary thing ever. Is putting the priest was putting his hand in and selecting a little bit of wafer and putting it in your mouth and then doing it to how many germs were shared doing that? Honestly. Alyssa says, "Oh my God, oh Leanne, inventing lies to have something to confess to. Oh my God, that wins." I know. And the trouble was, I knew I'd told a lie, and then the next week, I couldn't very well go to confessional and confess that I'd told a lie in confessional. Like, I couldn't do that, could I? So I confessed to telling a lie, and I think the priest said something like, "And what did you tell lies about?" Because I think he wanted to see how bad the lies were. And I think I said I lied. I lied about, what did I say? Um I lied because I was thinking bad things about my brother. So I always used to say that. I was mean to my brother, and I was thinking bad thoughts about my brother because he was a mean brother. So I used him as an excuse. And he was always getting into trouble anyway at school. So he was one of those kids. So they would have believed it. Brad says, "Damn, that's a house deposit back in 1903. Heathen child." Yes. So there is a story there. No, I didn't either, Charlene. And I reckon it might have been Mum that told me, because I reckon they might have sent that out as information trying to get you to get the skirt. But then they've had a bit of pushback from the ones that had, like, kids that were going to wouldn't get the wear out of them, because supposedly you're going to be able to buy the skirt and wear it all the way through. Anyway, so because I went to St Mary's actually had a secondary school. But look, I really didn't feel like I fit in at St Mary's. I was a goody two shoes, but the kids I went to school with at St Mary's were all little shits, and they weren't goody two shoes, and they didn't like me all that much. I don't know. I just didn't. They weren't my people, and so I wasn't happy. And I told my parents that I wanted to go to boarding school because I didn't want to be at St Mary's anymore. When I started, so I wanted to finish grade 6 at St Mary's, and I wanted to go to boarding school because they thought I was too young. But they also knew me enough to know that I knew what I wanted, so they gave me the choice. They said, "You can go to the high school, you can still keep going to St Mary's and go to the secondary school, or you can go to Mix in the Sticks," which was the nickname for Loretto College in Ballarat, which was the boarding school. And they told me this at sort of like just before Christmas, so I had a little while to decide. So I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And yeah, after a while, I just thought, well, look, no harm trying the high school, because if I don't like it after 12 months, I'll just go to boarding school then. So, yeah, I went to the high school and I met Charlene, and I never looked back, because they were my friends. And a lot of those people that I went to high school with are still my friends today. Jen says, "Haha, Sandra, Geach, heathen for you indeed." Indeed. Oh, yeah. So this is where I was going with that story. So I went to the high school, and word got around that I wasn't going to, because I hadn't enrolled at the secondary college, and the father who was in charge of the enrolments came up after church one day and asked my parents what was going on, because they hadn't filled out the enrolment form. And Mum said she's not going to St Mary, she's going to the high school. And so that was all right. The next week when we went to church, after church, one of the ladies, one of the wives of one of the church, bigwigs, that are always on the committees and that sort of thing, and the ones that you are supposed to be really good Catholics, well, they probably are really good Catholics, just not necessarily really good Christians. So anyway, she came up to my mother after church and said to me, You do realise sending your daughter to the high school, she will finish up a tart. Like, I'm in grade 6. Seriously? Yeah, because they didn't want people to be going. They wanted people to stay at the St Mary's. They didn't want them sending off to high school. So, yes. And the joke was on her because her kids, she had 2 daughters and they were the biggest town bikes ever. Just between you and me in the tree. Sandra says, an ADHD kid who was a goody two-shoes. Absolutely I was. Yes, yes, yes. I told you, after watching the nun give the cane in just directly in front of me, I was too scared to be otherwise. I guess that was the thing. I loved learning. So to have the ability to learn and soak up all that knowledge and have access to all those books and information, I loved it. The trouble was going to a very, very small country Catholic school, you didn't get taught a broad range of subjects matter, I'll say. So when grade 6, one of the mothers came in and taught us how to sew, my world opened up. I could sew. I started learning to sew my clothes then. Best thing ever. My parents were great because they loved to, what's the word? They love to encourage your talents. So I was allowed to go to the local drapery store. And in those days, you booked down your stuff. You didn't pay for it. You booked it down, put it on account. So I could go in there. I used to leave school at lunchtime and go over to, when I got to high school, I'd leave school lunchtime. I could go down to the thing or after school and I could go to the drapery and book up as much fabric as I liked. But, if I had have asked my parents for the same stuff in new clothing, I wouldn't have got that many clothes. But I had lots of clothes because I made them myself. Sandra says, I was always in trouble. Yeah. I think that's the thing I don't know. I just think, my mind, if I'm absorbing information, it kind of allows me to sort of keep myself steady-ish. Well, I used to. Jen says, did you smoke at school? Oh, God, no. Jen. No. No. Oh, yeah. Grade 6. Grade 6. God help me. No, I was not smoking in grade 6. In Form 6, I'm going to say possibly might have been smoking then. But yeah, no. Yeah. There weren't very many places in my high school that you could go and hide behind to do that sort of stuff. Jess says, my grandma called me. Yes. What did your grandma call you? Sandra Geach. Some of us can pull it off for a little while. Then we get older and say, heck with that BS. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, and I think that was the reason I thrived at the high school because when I got over there were so many more books. There was like 11 different classes. How many did we do in a day? 2 before lunch, 2 after lunch, and 3 in the afternoon. What's that? 2, 4, say 7 or 8 classes a day. Wow. Amazing. Loved it. Jazz says, a tart. Oh, okay. My grandma called me a tart once when I was like 10. I nearly died. I actually hit send. Oh, I do that as well. I always know my fingernails getting too long because I'll go to hit the apostrophe or something and I'll hit the send instead. Charlene says, oh, I can only imagine what your mother said to that. Oh, yeah, she was not impressed, I'll tell you what. The reason I found out was her telling her sister when she saw my Auntie Janet, because they shared everything. Well, after church, and generally after church, so we would go and visit my grandmother, who's on my dad's side of the family. And then we would go and visit, because my auntie was on the farm, and so whose mum's side of the family. So we would generally go and visit my dad's side of the family straight after church, and then go and visit mum's side of the family on the way home. But no, not this Sunday. This Sunday, mum had to go straight out to the farm, out to her sisters. And yeah, I kind of was in the next room eavesdropping to the story as to why she had to go and see Auntie Janet so quickly. She was ropeable. Accidentally, sheesh. Yes. Fat finger disease is called, Jazz. Rob says, foster creativity. That's right. They did foster my creativity. Sandra says, I loved learning, but it was pretty boring, and petty bullshit rules. Bullying teachers were mean to kids. Oh, so you say. Lisa says, Jazz Serlatard at 10. You barely filling at that age, yeah. Oh, Josh. Hello, Josh. Oh, look, I'm so sad because you've actually missed me singing. I've been singing tonight and you've missed it. Good morning from Niagara Falls. Woohoo! Niagara Falls. Can I think of a song about that? No, can't. Is there a song about Niagara Falls that I can sing? Anthony says, evening, Josh. Josh, do tell John to make sure he checks his emails because I sent you guys one. Emerald Hill, when I came to Australia at 6, I was the 13th kid in the school. Oh my God, did you go a bush school? Was it somewhere out in the sticks? Sounds like it might have been. Lisa says, good morning, Mr. Galt. Josh. Yes, if I had one of those phones that did that. Oh, hang on, I don't know how to do that. But I don't, so. Sandra says, well, this does not surprise me, Sandra. Yes, I smoked in high school and got detention for for short cutting across the oval. That's bad, isn't it? Josh is saying good evening to Anthony and to Lisa. Sandra says, books were the good things. I know. Yeah, I love maths too. Yep, I love maths. I'll tell you what I did love, because we never learned history. Didn't have anything to do with history, but I loved history and I loved French for some reason. But I loved history. And Form 1, we did Australian history. Did we? No, that was a bit later on. So Form 1, I think we did all about ancient Rome. Yes, we might have done all about ancient Rome and stuff like that. So that was really, really interesting. Because because going to the Catholic school, there'd been no one ever taught us anything about history unless it was to do with the church, you know. Jen says, best subject was English, Macbeth. To be or not to be. Yeah. English. What was my best? My favourite? Oh, look, I have to say my favourite subject was sewing because I got to sew more. I didn't mind home echo. I tell you what I loved because we were lucky, and I think we were the first year that they did it where the girls could do the boys' classes. So we actually got to do woodwork and metalwork, and I really enjoyed that. But I enjoyed the metalwork even more than the woodwork, so that was interesting. Jen says, if I did school, it's heaps better, especially maths, physics, etc. Yeah, if you redid it. And I know. But the thing is, the way they teach it these days, they teach the kids how they can use it in their everyday lives. We just got taught the theory and that was it, wasn't it? Like there's no, yeah. Oh, I know. It was, wasn't it? When you look back now, I thought it was good, but, well, you can imagine what I got taught. You reckon yours was a crock? A crock. I better not say that, crock of shit, but, like, yeah. Christian says, I played Juliet's dad in Romeo and Juliet in grade 10. Was top class acting. Oh, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I love a sunburnt country. And I recited that at speech night one year. Sandra did private elocution and drama classes studying Shakespeare and Dickens and the classics. Well, now we are amongst highly educated. Yes, that's amazing, Sandra. Yeah. No, nothing like that here. I don't think there was anyone that even did tutoring back in the day around here, honestly. But yeah, look, I love school. I do have to say, I mean, there were things about school that weren't great. I hated typing. I only did it because we had to do it. They made us do one. Did we have to do a year? Was it a year we had to do of it at least? Or just a term or half a term? Can't remember. They made us do. Look, it stood me in good stead later on when computers came in. But to have to learn to type on a manual typewriter was not fun. I can tell you that. Sandra says, better than the school curriculum. Yeah, well, definitely. That wouldn't be hard, would it? I mean, that's the thing, though. You didn't know. But I look back now at some of the stuff that they taught you and you just think, we were pretty lucky, though, because I think being in the country, we got some, we might have got some of the weird and wonderful teachers that none of the other schools would take on. Like, so I still remember we had a Mr. Hazelego and he had long, long hair and he used to have earrings and they were marijuana leaves. Like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe that Donald High School had a teacher like that. Like, you know, he was a maths teacher. So, yeah, very interesting times. Very interesting times. Sandra says we didn't have to do typing if we were studying languages. Yeah, well, that was the go for us too. You could do language. Well, we only had one language, French. So you could do French or typing. But they did make us do. We had to do typing regardless. I think the theory was, being a girl, like we were going to finish up in the, steno pool or something like that we had to learn typing. So I'm sure we had to do it for the first half of the year. Then we could start doing languages. Well, French, because that was the only language we had. Christian says, so did you grow up and live in Donald and surrounds your whole life? Pretty much. So I was born at I was born at the place down in the big city where they take the unwed pregnant mothers. I was born down there. And so I came to Donald when I was about 6 weeks old when my mum and dad got me. And I was here all that time. Then when I turned 18, I got accepted after year 12, I got accepted into law and I got accepted into librarianship at Melbourne University. And I decided I wanted to have a break. And it was probably the worst thing. I mean, I probably wished I hadn't have. So I decided to take a gap year and get a job for 12 months and then go to uni just to get a bit of life experience before I started uni, because I never went back to uni, did I? I could have been a lawyer. I could have been a lawyer. Now, yeah, could have had a bloody, Audi out in the bloody driveway. Oh, dear. Yeah, so but I did go to Melbourne for, I'm going to say, from when I was 18, I went to Melbourne for 3 years because I did believe that Donald was a very small community and not like, I mean, the most ethnic people we had in Donald back then were the Greeks that ran the cafe. Like it was just, that was how it was. And so you're going to be, in a very small community who never got out of there. So I did go to Melbourne, and I partied very hard the few years I was in Melbourne. And I, yes, wrote my car off when I was in Melbourne because I might have been drink driving. And I'm very lucky to be alive after that little stunt. I mean, I do not remember anything about it, but I did crash my car. Apparently I crashed my car, and anyway, that's another whole story for another night. And yeah, when they let me out of hospital, I came home to recover, and I pretty much haven't left again since. I've been here because then I met my ex-husband and fell in love and got married and joined Young Farmers, met my ex, fell in love, had kids, fell out of love, and been here ever since. Got a bit sidetracked then, didn't I? Lisa says, I had to do typing half a term. I took it 3 times, never passed it, truthfully. I've ranted on YouTube about that lunacy. Yeah, I need typing. My eBay ads get written just fine at 40 words a minute. Yes, 40 words a minute is a damn good speed, I say. I'm all right on the main keys, but it's when you have to go up to the other keys. I had to sneak a bit of a look there. I didn't do enough practicing on the quick brown fox jumps over the fence or whatever it was you had to type. Jen says, yes, Sandra, I wish I'd done typing instead of, isn't it for 4 years? Yeah, instead of typing for 4 years, I mean, yeah. Imagine how fast we'd be if we'd done typing for 4 years. Jazz says, why be a lawyer when you can flog junk on the internet? Exactly. I could have gone ahead and been a lawyer or a librarian once I'd decided which one I was going to do. I probably would have been a librarian because I love books so much, but I could have done that and been terribly unhappy and finished up, getting on eBay anyway. Finish up in the same spot. Sandra says, or I could have still been a lawyer, raking in heaps of money, but not being fulfilled in my daily life. There you go. Sandra says, yes, it would have been better than basic French and German. Yeah. Well, you were lucky you got 2 languages. I only got 1. Graham says, I only went to school for lunch. Ha, 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 ha. You're funny, Graham. Lisa says, oh, GG, we all have so much PTSD from school. I know. So that's probably why we've all developed ADHD, from the trauma we went through at school. Sandra says, yes, but nobody told us not to drink and drive back then. I know. Well, they did, kind of. Well, no, it wasn't a bad. I mean, you could still have drinks. So, but I always gave my keys if I was going to get loaded, and I did. I'd given someone else my keys. I can't even stand the smell of ouzo to this day, because that's what I was drinking that night. And apparently I might have had a bit to drink, and I might have had my first ever bit of Mary Jane. So I might have been pretty happy. And apparently then I went and saw my friend that had the car keys and said, I have to go out and lie down. Can I have the keys and I'll go and lie down in the car for a while? And apparently I was that happy that I got out of the car and must have thought, well, I might as well just drive home. Not a good idea. Look, I'm very lucky. If you'd seen the car, I'm very lucky to be alive. And I'm actually very, very lucky because I crashed my car into a big brick pillar. I didn't crash it into someone's house, and I didn't crash it into another car, and I didn't hurt anyone else. So I am very thankful for that. Jen says, did you drink at school, Sandra and Leanne? Oh, the only time I ever drank at school, you're not answering these questions, Jen, did you? The only time I ever drank at school was in year 11, at the end of the year, we had we had a couple of girls that got kept down from the previous year. They got kept down in year 11 again, and they were terrors. And they bought wine to school because I had to catch the bus to and from school, so you couldn't sneak alcohol, and I couldn't get to the shops all the time because you had to catch the bus home. Because we live on a farm, so you sort of didn't. You weren't. I wasn't allowed to be, wandering the streets and stuff. Yeah, we did. We went. Yeah, we might have. Yeah, that might have been when we caused a little incident with the parents' club because we thought we'd be funny buggers and put Glad wrap over the toilet bowls and get some of the kids the next morning, and we didn't realise there was a mothers' club meeting that night, and we might have got into a bit of trouble for that. Graham says, Jazz, I just paid a lawyer nearly $89,000 for very little work. Oh, see? Look how rich I would have been. Jazz says, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. I use that as my type test every time I sell a typewriter. Oh, yes, well, it does. It types every single letter in the alphabet, and that's the whole idea. Cindy says, it's never too late to go back to school. No, true. I'm at my own personal school every single day. Christian says, you sure were a loose cannon. I was. I was a goody two-shoes until I turned 18, and then 0.24 I blew. Brad says, my dad drank drive when he was like 27 and crashed into... oh, no. Crashed into a police... I presume that's what you're saying. Crashed, crack shed, into a police car parked on the other side of the road. Oh, my God. Wow. That's... that's bad, isn't it? That is bad. Lisa says, Jazz, oh, my God. I had stuffed down that typing sentence trauma into my subconscious until now. Seriously, I forgot that until just seeing it. Just seeing the last 3 words. It's funny, isn't it? The things you still remember. I know. See you, Sandra. I'm glad you're in an excellent mood. Glad I could cheer you up to go to work. Sorry you're going to work. Jazz is sorry, Lisa, for doing that to you. You've what is it? You're having a next thing you know, you'll be having a relapse of your PTSD from your childhood. Because Jazz told us what the sentence was. Jazz Searle, I'll live. Had no idea that was a universal thing. Oh yeah. Well, apparently it is. Apparently it is. What else can I tell you about school? Yeah. I think I think I might have been very different if I'd gone to a bigger school. Because, I had a wild streak, let me just say. As much as I was a goody two-shoes at school, I did have a wild streak. And I will say that I think if I'd had the right people to run around with, I possibly might have got into a bit more trouble when I was at high school. But, yeah, anyway. It's all a good thing. Well, I think with that little comment, it is time for me to go to bed and rest my weary limbs after my jeans stock taking. And I will see you all tomorrow. I'm going to try and learn. I've got to learn to be able to turn the live stream off because it's up in the corner. Turn it off and not look at the same time. So I'm going to try, right? Let's just see if it works.